So here is NIO. This finishes at $18.75 today. That is up 25.59%. Please like the video, please subscribe, and catch me every weekday after market close on the Smarter Gambling Show. So here is BABA, Alibaba Group. This finishes at $105 today. That is up 36.76%. So no company-specific news to justify this price action today, although we did have some general Chinese news. China did come out and say that they did want to support their economy. So Chinese stocks have been selling off very significantly in the past 2 years. They were cracking down on a lot of companies. So the sell-off was state-controlled, and it appears now that the state is done cracking down, and now they want to pump it. All Chinese stocks mooning today. Chinese stocks may have bottomed out. Can't say for sure yet, but this is really bullish. All right, let's go ahead and analyze here. So first of all, we do have a lot of gap downs. Too many to count, really. We see here on the graph, there's gaps all over the place, but the highest gap down is at 246. So that's a bullish indicator. That is telling us that the stock should eventually come back up to 246 to fill that gap. And there are many other gap downs along the way there that need to be filled. And then this does appear to be a huge cup and handle in the making. Bottom of the cup appears to be $73, which was a 3-year low set very recently. And there can be multiple possible tops. It can be 130, 140, 172, 180, 200, 215, 230, 246, 259, 275, or even the high of 320. Although I do think the most realistic tops would be around 130 or 180. That's another bullish indicator that is telling us that the stock should eventually run back up to one of those tops to complete the cup. And then today we do have a gap up at around $81. So that would be a bearish indicator that is telling us that the stock may pull back down to $81 to fill that gap. And if you guys want to follow along, the link to the chart is in the description down below. So right now this is sitting on the support of 104, which it finished around today. So if this goes to the upside, next levels of resistance would be 109, 113, 116, 118, 121, 123, 126, 129, 131, 136, 140, 145, 149, and then 151. There is resistance above 151, but we're not going to discuss that right now. And if this goes to the downside, next levels of support would be 101, 100, 95, 91, 86, 81, 78, and then the low of 74. 74 is the 3-year low, so I don't have any support on the chart here below that. So right now at this current price, 105, the channels to the upside and the downside are pretty wide, so expect significant price action either way this goes. However, if/when this breaks 113 to the upside, the channels start to narrow, so expect a significant decrease in price action if/when this breaks 113. RSI is currently at 50, so that is extremely average. So according to the RSI, this current price of 105 is at fair market value, and this did 159 million in volume today. Very significant volume, biggest volume day of the year, way above average. So this pump today was confirmed by the volume. Okay guys, just my opinion, not financial advice. So like I said, this whole Chinese sell-off was because of the government. They were trying to crack down on a lot of companies, and now it appears like the government has changed their stance and they want to pump it. So can't confirm anything just yet, but China may have bottomed out. So long term, this is obviously a good buy. It is Alibaba. It's a legit company, the Chinese Amazon. And we do have strong bullish indicators in the gap downs and the cup and handle. So you really can't go too wrong buying in at 105, especially if you're holding for the long term, which honestly you should. I don't really think you should swing trade or day trade a blue chip stock like this. But in the short term, this may pull back down to 81 to fill the gap that was created today. So I can't support going long at 105. Again, really can't go too wrong buying in here. If you want a really good price, maybe you should hold off and set your buy orders to $81. And I think that would be a really excellent entry. But I can't support going long at 105 and lower. And if it pulls back below 105, then you can just average down at the supports that I mentioned before. Now, if you want to go short, not financial advice, it's not necessarily a bad play. Personally, I wouldn't go for it. I don't think shorting a blue chip value stock like Alibaba is the greatest idea, although it has been working this whole time. But again, this may pull back down to $81. So from the current price of 105 down to 81, that would be about a 25% downside. I would say going short here would be a medium risk, medium reward play. Pretty good money to the downside, but there is risk involved. Not crazy risk, but if the government decides to keep pumping this, it may not go back down there, but this shouldn't squeeze or anything, so risk isn't too bad. But yeah, seems like a pretty decent play. Personally, I wouldn't go for it. I think there are better short plays out there in the market, but it does seem like a pretty decent play, so I can't support going short at 105 and higher. And I would say, please cover at 81 once this fills the gap. This is definitely not a stock you want to be holding for that long on the short side. Get in, get your money, get out. So yeah, pretty straightforward here, guys. Hopefully, this is the bottom for Chinese stocks. Long term, definitely a good play, but in the short term, this may pull back down to 81. So be aware of that, guys. So congratulations to everyone who made money in the stock today, and good luck to everyone currently in the stock and to everyone looking to take a position. This is BABA Alibaba Group. So here is NIO. This finishes at $18.75 today. That is up 25.59%. So here's another Chinese stock that was mooning today. No company-specific news to justify this price action. But again, all Chinese stocks were mooning today due to the government coming out and saying that they're going to try to boost the economy. So this has pulled back pretty significantly since the high of $55. Can't confirm just yet, but this may have bottomed out at 13, hopefully. But yeah, let's go ahead and analyze here. So first of all, we do have a gap down at $27. So that's a bullish indicator. That is telling us that the stock should come back up to $27 eventually to fill this gap. And then we do have a huge cup and handle in the making here. Bottom of the cup is 13, hopefully. And there can be multiple possible tops. It can be 23.60, 26.55, 31.65, 35.45, 41.55, 44.05, 45.85, 51.25, or even the high of 55.15. But those are all bullish indicators. That is telling us that the stock should eventually come back up to one of those tops to complete the cup. So long term, looks really bullish. And in the aftermarket, this is up to 1910. So that would be a bullish indicator. If this holds, that would suggest that tomorrow the stock will run to the upside as well. And today, there was a gap up at 1535. So that's a bearish indicator. That is telling us that the stock may come back down to 1535 to fill this gap. And there is a gap up at 955, and that would be a bearish indicator. That is telling us that the stock may come back down to 955 to fill that gap. At this point, it does look unlikely, but possible. So keep that in mind, guys. And if you guys want to follow along, the link to the chart is in the description down below. So right now, this is trading between the sideways channel, the rectangle of 1905 and 1845. So if this goes to the upside, next levels of resistance would be 1905, 2020, 2105, 2180, 2235, 2295, 2360, 2415, 2480, 2535, 2585, 2655, 2730, 2780, 2825, 2875, 2940, 2995, and then 3065. There is resistance above 3065, but we're not going to discuss that right now. And if this goes to the downside, next levels of support would be 1845, 1770, $16, 1435, 1270, 1105, and then 955. There is support below 955, but we're not going to discuss that right now. So right now at this current price, 1875. The channels to the upside and the downside are very wide, so expect significant price action either way this goes. However, if/when this breaks 2180 to the upside, the channel starts to narrow, so expect a significant decrease in price action if/when this breaks 2180. RSI is currently at 45, pretty average there, a little bit below average. So according to the RSI, the current price of 1875 should be a little bit higher, and this did 167 million in volume today. Very significant volume, way above average. I believe this is the biggest volume day of the year. So this pump today was confirmed by the volume. Okay, guys, just my opinion, not financial advice, and this is more or less the same from Alibaba and all the other Chinese stocks. Long term, this is definitely a good buy. NIO is a legit company, one of the biggest Chinese EV makers. This has already been beat down very hard from the high of 55, and hopefully this bottomed out at 13, because China did say that they're focusing on economic growth now. So therefore, if you want to go long, not financial advice, 1875 appears to be a pretty good entry. Really can't go too wrong buying in here if you're in it for the long term. Again, we have the gap down, big cup and handle, so very strong upside potential here in the long term. So 1875 does appear to be a pretty good entry. That being said, there is the gap created today at around 1530. So this may pull back down to 1530 in the short term. So I can't support going long at 1875. Pretty good entry already. But if you're a little patient, you may be able to get this back at 1530, where the gap is. So I would support going long at 1875 and lower. And if it pulls back below 1875, then you can just average down at the supports that I mentioned before. But really can't go too wrong buying in at 1875. Now, if you want to go short now, financial advice, personally, I would not do that, and I would not recommend that. I wouldn't really short a blue chip value stock like this. Again, long term, a lot of upside potential. But again, in the short term, this may pull back down to 1530. And from the current price of 1875, that would be around a 20% downside. So pretty decent money to be made on the downside here. So personally, I wouldn't go for it. There are way better short plays out there in the market. But it's not necessarily a terrible play. It's pretty decent. I would say going short here would be a medium risk, medium reward play. Decent money to be made on the downside and not too much upside risk, because this really shouldn't go squeezing or anything. I wouldn't go for it, but I can support going short at 1875 and higher. And I would say please just cover at 1530 where the gap is. Again, this is not really one you want to hold for that long on the short side. You want to get in, get your money, get out. So if you want to go short here, please do that at your own risk. Okay, guys. So pretty straightforward. Pretty much the same as Alibaba. Long term, this is a great stock. Really can't go too wrong buying in at the current price, especially if you want to hold this. But in the short term, this may pull back to fill the gap at 1530. So there is downside potential in the short term. So congratulations to everyone who made money in the stock today. And good luck to everyone currently in the stock and to everyone looking to take a position. This is NIO. Thanks everyone for watching today. I appreciate you guys. Please like the video. Please subscribe and catch me every weekday after market close on the Smarter Gambling Show. You apes already know. Diamond hands to the moon. I'm Ty. This is Smarter Gambling. See you guys tomorrow. Peace out.